Live. Let me see if I can share this link here. If anybody's on, if anybody's going to watch this video afterwards, you're not waiting so much. So I'm going to go straight into it. If people join in afterwards, it's probably going to be a repetitive video. So after the first few minutes, you can just end the video. It's not a problem. So everybody knows the scissor jack, right? I got a scissor jack, and the way it works is that you use a level or lever or whatever to twist the knob at the bottom to raise it. Okay, so twist the knob to raise it, left to lower it. The problem is with my car, which happens to be a Ford Focus, if you wanted to know, is that this is great if it's in the bin that it came in. I don't really like scissor jacks. I've had them break on me, but because I carry a lot of things, this is the most portable, and so far hasn't broken on me, right? But what I've done is that lever, I got rid of it, because what ended up happening is that when you twist it, it was stuck. It was literally stuck in the nut thing here, and you couldn't remove it this way or that way. It was literally stuck. It had an end piece that was squished that disallowed you from doing that. So what ended up happening is if you imagine this being on the floor and this is in here, as I'm trying to turn, I have to come up this way, turn, bring it out this way, all the way around this way, and then up, down, and around like this, and then back up, and it's really annoying. So I looked at this end and I saw that it was a nut, right, or a bolt, or whatever you want to call it. So I tried putting a socket in there before cutting this off, and it wouldn't fit because this was in the way. So I ended up having to cut it. So I took my little hacksaw, I held it down, and I used a metal cutting blade. This just so happens to be the Torch carbide blade that I used on it, because I don't like using anything other than carbide. They just burn out after the first few uses. Anyways, so cut it, took it off, and I decided that I wanted to measure. Quick little tip on the things that I ended, to find out the socket size if you can't really tell. If you have them like this, sup Wilro, you can go ahead and actually slip it in without even having to take the sockets off. Now you know which one it is. This one just happens to be a 19 millimeter, which is perfect because in case I have to switch out my tire or take it out because I have a flat, all I have to do is use one socket and one impact for the whole repair, so I don't have to worry about that. I tend to carry these because I use them at work, but my idea of a good, emergency plan is that you're not surviving it, that you're thriving in the emergency, right? So you prepare for that. So if you say, okay, all I need for my vehicle repair in case of a flat is a 19 millimeter, then all you need is a 19 millimeter and a impact wrench that's capable of taking your lug nuts off. So that's kind of what I like to do all the time. So I take this off, I have it with me all the time. So now all I have to do, excuse me, is take it. Real Estate Whisperer! Hey Wilro. Hey guys. Appreciate you guys coming over. And all I have to do is take the... Thank you, Stefan. Hi everybody. Appreciate you guys coming in. I wanted to do a quick video on something. Hopefully you guys start from the beginning, or if not, I can reiterate what's going on right now since I've seen you guys come in. What I did is I cut the lever on the scissor jack so I can put an impact wrench on it. That's a whole portion of it, first portion of the video. So now, if I wanted to, all I have to do is position the jack under the car, stick this in there, and now I can jack up the car much faster. Unjack it. And you're all set. So, what's even better, if I try to show you in a couple of moments here, I'll probably just go to the van and show you. If, let's say you have one of those impact drivers and you want to use it to remove your lug nuts. Yep. Sup, Joe? If you have a regular impact driver, not an impact wrench, now you can get all jacked up. Thanks. Yeah, I got tired of like I said, I got tired of having to. The biggest problem with the scissor jack is that while it's portable, is you stick this thing comes like this, you turn it down, you have to bring it out this way, all the way around, then back up. So it's kind of annoying. So now you can just put the socket in and use the impact wrench. But if you use an impact driver, right, guys, you can put the attachment for the 3/8, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. And you can use that with that as well. But not only that, which is probably better, where you might not even need to have this in your car at all times. You can just have a regular drill, a regular impact driver, right? The one with the little 1/4-inch hex. Actually, no. Yeah. Well, you might need you might this in a regular drill. I'm still figuring that out, so it makes it a little bit easier. But what I've done, and if you look at my Instagram, is I've taken a regular drill with a 1/2-inch chuck or whatever you have. You can use that as well. And if you ever get a flat, you can, if you ever had the T-handle thing where you have to like punch it in the hole and then scrape, punch in and out, in and out, in and out to clean the hole. If you had a screw in it, and then you have to punch the plug in. If you ever had to do that, you know that if you do it by hand, right, it's really hard to go in and out, right, and to like clean up the hole. And then when you try to put the plug in, you realize that you didn't clean it up as well. You didn't open up the hole as much. So what ends up happening is that you're struggling and putting all your body weight in there and everything. So what I've done is I've taken the if you go to like Walmart or something, you get a car repair kit that has the plugs, the little T-handle. Yes, a clean hole is a better hole. With a little T-handle that has a little rasp on there. You cut that off. You cut the rasp off, and you put that on your regular drill, and then you can drill and rasp with the drill. So now, if you go ahead and need to work on your tire, all you do is just jack it up with the impact and jack it up with the drill. I mean, and repair it with the drill, and that way you're done in like 5 minutes, and you're not there the whole time. Also, this helps if you're gonna have to do. Where's my wrench? Would you rasp then drill, or drill then rasp? I wonder what kind of question that is. Well, you would rasp with the drill. This set of impact sockets are from Sunex. Okay, these are actually really good. I've had these for a while, and I bought a good set up to 22 millimeter, and these are 3/8. These are 3/8 drive. Okay, well, we're gonna work on that 100 subscribers. Hopefully, I keep making these little videos with you guys, and appreciate you guys' support. But I went up to 22 millimeter because my dad's van's a 22 millimeter socket lug. and they're cheap. I mean, for this impact socket, the deep one, for the 22 was like $7.50 on Amazon. So I bought the kit, and then I bought the additional. Well, I originally got the kits from my tool truck guy, who had them at the same price as Amazon, so I can actually order them from Amazon as well. And I got the knuckle and some extensions, and I've got. I learned more about tools in the last year than I've ever wanted to know, but it's useful stuff. Yeah, I've got some extensions, and this one's out of my toolbox, but you know what? I should probably show you. A little dark here, but actually, what is it? The extensions are, because I'm moving everything around since I just got the pack out stuff. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, I just stepped out for real quick. So I got these extensions. Let me clear up the room here. I'm cleaning up, guys. Like I said, we just built this little shed, and for me to put my stuff in, because I just got so much stuff. But I got these three. I've got this smaller one, and then the knuckle, and the whole set. So. But you can get a whole set from Sonex, and I think they're lifetime warranted. So if they break, and these are thick-walled, so they're not the thin-walled stuff. Handy, how you doing? Thank you, appreciate it for coming in. So because I had bought this one a while back for 3/8, I needed something to go up to 22 millimeter. So I might get a 1/2 inch stubby. For the 1/2 inch stuff, because I don't like using the adapter. It's a nice impact wrench. So far it's done me well. There's only been one time that it failed on me, and I don't know why. I'm not saying failed as in mechanically it didn't work, as in it just wasn't taking off my lug nuts. And I think they over tightened them, and this impact wrench is only like about 150 foot-pounds. It's really not that great compared to like the stubby, but it'll take my lug nuts off. I can do stuff that I'm doing at work all the time. I take the I don't know what they're called. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, my tools are pretty well used, but they're usually more worn because of how I travel with them. I got the 3/8 ratchet. Oh, you're asking Wuro. My bad. All right. But that was the that's I think they over tightened it. I think they over tightened it, and I found the weirdest thing, but this is what I found out so far. If you use chrome based sockets on impact wrenches, it makes it work harder. So it loses some torque from what I can tell, because I can take a shallow socket and put a deep impact socket in there, and the short non-impact sockets will not work for some reason. Will not the gun won't take them off. So if you have a slightly underpowered impact wrench, make sure you have the correct socket. And I've also found out that for some reason deep impact sockets work better than shallow impact sockets. For some reason, if I put a shallow impact socket as well, it might not take it off. If it's not taking it off, I switch over to a deep and it takes it off. So I don't know if you guys have met with the same issue, Please let me know in the chat. I don't know if you guys ever made that observation before, but for some reason, this works. No, I didn't because this is really all I use. Um, to be honest, this is all I really use, and the extensions. Because when I'm inside of a boat and I need to take like if I need to take the motor mount off, and so I'll probably stick a couple attachments in there and just to kind of get them off. And I laugh because I hardly use a ratchet anymore because I have the impact. I just do everything with the impact, and so yeah. So I use that, or I use my Gen 2 M12 um, with the adapter. And what I use is the wobble adapter on there to let me bring that over. Actually, I'm gonna put the tripod on because I didn't think the video was gonna be this long. But let me set that up real quick. And let me bring that over so I can show you guys. Alright, so I'm probably going to open the wrong box, but I think it's this one. So this is the stuff that I usually carry with me. And what I've done with this case is I bought an extra kit during the holidays, and I removed everything that was here. And what I've done is I've added these adapters and mixed them around so that I can have them with me at all times. Ren Man, what's up? And so if I need to get somewhere in a really hard location, then I can mess with this one. This is the Makita Gold. So let me take that off. So if you got to get in a really hard spot, I'll actually use this 3/8 wobble adapter. And the way that works is if I'm straight on, it'll be straight. But if I need a little bit of an angle, I can tilt it like that. And it actually works quite well. And if anybody's ever owned a boat or owned a trailer, in the front, I keep on forgetting what it's called, but where you put the roller on and you have to adjust it for your boat as you pull the boat forward. The bolts are down there usually 3/4 or 19 millimeter, but they're so close to the aluminum or whatever the material that they're using that when you try to put a socket down straight down, you're better off with a wrench because it's your impact's going to get in the way. So I use this just to get that off. Red Man, yeah, I got most of it off. I've got to sand the tabletop anyways. So I'll use that in the corner. Even better is the right angle attachment. Now I bought the Milwaukee one because I do have a DeWalt one. Because the DeWalt one has the long extension. I'll show you right now. That one's really good. I use that one a lot more than this one. This one I hardly have used, but this one's great in combination with this one because it's already offset at an angle, and you can actually. Randman, what's up? You can already. I know if it's blurry, I apologize, guys. I'm trying to get it, in there, so I can offset more of an angle. This way. The doors just closed if I scared you guys. Okay? So it just gives you just a little bit more than you need. And then you'll retain some of that torque. And so you can use that impact driver. This is impact safe. So that right there is for the thumb. So if you need to hold it, you can hold it like this, and you can use the gun this way. I'm not exactly sure what degree it is, but like I said, so far, this and the DeWalt one with this box that I have set up, I don't have to touch the toolbox anymore. This is all I ever need. And I've worked with my brother's car, and I worked on my dad's van, and I've worked on 108 degrees. You guys are a trip. So I've worked on a lot of things, and and I've been able to get to those locations. I would love to get what Wilro just bought, which is the 3/8 ratchet, because that would probably cover, like I said, this covers 98. That will probably cover my 100%, right? And so I keep this here, and I'm still, like I said, organizing everything. Yeah, JC Munoz, like I said, that's my observation. Don't color me a liar if that's not the case, or if an engineer comes around. But, the problem is that that's what I found, and so I go straight to impacts. And like I said, these are Sunex, and these have been really good. Taking lots of bolts off. I use them for even the smaller stuff. I got them all the way down to 7mm. And like I said, I've got the knuckle, the 3/8 knuckle, and I got a 3-inch extension, a 4-inch, I think, as well. I'll put this here so you guys can see. These are deep. I hardly ever use smaller sockets. If I need to use smaller sockets, I would just use the chrome, because that's what I've got. I know I do have the shallow, not the shallow, because they have shallow. They have this. They have like really shallow ones now. Then they have the regular shallows. Then they have the mid, and then they have these, and then they have, I think, even deeper ones. With so they've got a lot of them. And give me a second. I'll show you those two as well. Like I said, I just bought these sockets as well. Not that off. Like I said, it comes in the case. All of these came in a box, and you can buy them in a box little by little and build your kit. And I have the smaller ones. I think they do sell a mechanic tools kit. Sonex does have them. I use metric because I already started with metric, and I hate having to double up on things. And a lot of the motors that I end up touching are metric. They're Yamahas or whatever. My boss uses standard, but they're really not much gap. If I feel a gap in between the two sizes, then I know it's standard, or it's the other way around. I'll just switch them because I don't want to round them over. So I'll just use his. But usually everything I can still use is metric. And I always carry them in my car, and I always have them ready at hand, because I hate having to go into a drawer or somewhere else. I'll just go to my car or whatever and have them in there. How high do I have to be to make a parachute work? I can't remember. I think it was as low as we did it, I think it was like 1,700 feet. But don't quote me. I'll ask my my para guy. I think the lowest, you can go pretty low to make parachutes work. Just depends on how fast you're going. Yeah, like I said, 17 or 15. There's been some crazy numbers. I mean, if you're talking about British Marines, man, they did that stuff. How low they did that stuff. It's ridiculous. It's borderline not safe. They train to hit the ground. I don't know, Ren Man. I'm just saying something that came out to my mind. It might be right, it might be wrong. But if I can find a rasp to fix the tires, right, to fit a 1/4-inch hex, right, then all you would need to fix your tire in the case of a flat would be this. You wouldn't need a 3/8 impact. You would just need a 1/4-inch impact. I don't think it'll work if you jump off your 2-story roof. I think you would still kind of hit the ground. I mean, it might cushion. It might cushion. I don't know. But I don't think you have enough time. They have what at the depot? For 20 bucks, the sockets? Which brand? The Milwaukee ones? You're talking about the rasp. No, I was talking about the rasp. I'll try to see if I can show you, but it's in my dad's. JC Munoz later. Appreciate you guys if you guys hit a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Yeah, because the rasp, what I did, if I had the handle, I don't know if you ever seen those. You guys did you guys ever use a tire repair kit that has the little punch? It's got a T handle, and you put the little it's like a rubber string, and you put it in between, and it's halfway, and it folds up like this. I wish I could show you. My kit's not complete. I gotta fix it. All right, so there's a T handle that has a little prong, right, and you put the little rubber plug in there, and as you push it in, it folds up. But before you do that, there's a T handle that has it's like a rasp, it's a rounded rasp. It's got a little knurling into it, and you clean the hole with it. What I did is I cut the head off. I took off the I cut up the plastic to have some. See, there you go, Randman. So you saw the posts on it. So if I can get something like that that would fit on a 1/4-inch impact driver, then all I would need is my 3/8 shockwave, right? Or whatever, DeWalt. Okay? The rasp, and then I can fix my, right? And the air compressor or whatever. Which I need to get a new one. I have a Black & Decker one. Works really great, actually. I like it. But I wish I had the same work batteries for it. All right. So you're a big follower of thank you, Rayman. Appreciate it. I try to post on Instagram a lot. I appreciate Wilro for following as well. These are, like I said, these are just things that I'm trying to find out because my biggest problem is I used to drive a lot. I used to do sales, and I used to drive around all over Florida. I used to go from Tampa to Port DeSoto. Then I would go to Orlando, possibly almost all in the same day. And the more you drive, the more chances you have of getting a flat. No, I used to sell business lines for Verizon. And so I used to travel a lot. Then I used to work for AT&T in Orlando. So beef sandwiches. Yeah, I used to sell beef sandwiches. I would go from Tampa. I would cook them in Tampa, take them to Port Charlotte, and then Orlando at the middle of the night. All I'm leaving them in my cooler. They were always fresh because they were always cool. All right. So this is how I've set the uh, my kit up, my emergency kit up. So like I said, you use it, take it out. You have your 19 mil. Your handle is no longer there. So now you can bring that up and bring it down. So the reason I'm trying to figure these things out to make them as easy as possible is that my girlfriend, my sister, and who else? Well, pretty much almost all the females in my life, all the Miss Ladies, they always have to end up calling either me or their dad or something, and we're sometimes all over the place. So I wanted to build a little kit that makes it really easy for them, that doesn't take a lot of space for them to fix their tires. So, scissor jack, the impact, and a drill. All the single ladies. All the single ladies. Because, Wilro, I like AAA. I used to have their membership for years, at least 7 years. And every time I had to call AAA, it was a 4-hour wait. Yeah, that's the problem. Real estate whisper. 4 hours. Yeah, buddy. And that was in Tampa. That was in Tampa, Florida, in the middle of the city. I will be stuck for 2 to 4 hours every time. And I'm telling you, I mean, I've experienced because the Florida roads are just nasty. I would just tell. I mean, Florida roads are nasty, man. Like I've gotten, and this is like I said. This is like I said. This is probably 2006 to 2009 that I started having these issues with AAA, and they would call and bring a tow truck or whatever, but it would take so long. Um, I had a dead battery, and they took like 2 hours at the mall, like, and it's just crazy. It was at the mall. It took like 2 hours. Then I got a flat, and it took them 4 hours to get there. Not to mention that it took them like an hour to work on it. For some reason, the guy didn't know what he was doing. But the Florida roads are disgusting, man. I've driven all over the country. I've driven from California to Florida multiple times. Never experienced a flat. Moved to Florida, 6 months in, get a flat. It's just, they're disgusting. How dirty this is. I've been to Louisiana. Louisiana is okay, pretty bad, right? I think Mississippi. I've been to Houston. Houston's not that bad. Houston's pretty clean from what I've seen, or that might be Austin. But when I went to Mississippi, I would never go to Mississippi ever again. Sorry, Mississippi is just horrible. Well, Houston has bad traffic, but it's no LA, and I used to live by LA. The only reason why I know is because I was living in California because I was stationed there, and I used to go to LA all the time, and I had every time I've driven from California to Florida. Oh my God, Atlanta! You're right. Atlanta is horrible. It's so no LA. It's I-10 is pretty bad, but I like I-10. There's a port. I think it was Mississippi that had a portion of 4 lanes that was including the only to come in, and I almost got ran off the road by a pickup truck trying to cut traffic, and yeah, I almost I was honking and that guy was going, and it was bad. So I don't like Mississippi at all. Another thing that I like to keep it to, if you guys have to use a lot of hose clamps, I'm sure you guys seen it on my Instagram. I'm not sure if I put it or not, but if you guys seen these, HVAC guys might be using them. This one pops off. It's Malco. And you can clean the head and turn it. So the two most common hose clamps nuts or nut or whatever for the nut drivers. This is gonna be this so far been my favorite because I don't have to go back into the box, switch out the other one. I can just pull it and use it. Are you wear these earrings? I can just pull it and use it. Are you wear these earrings? I only have one set. Yeah, these are nice, and yeah, these are Malco. So come on, focus. All right. And I was looking for these, but I ended up finding them at my local Home Depot. I didn't know that they were in the plumbing section. So I found it, fell in love with it. So I'm keeping it there. Another quick tip, if you're using these, but they're not impact rated, you're gonna lose impact strength. I'm sorry, brand man. You're gonna lose impact strength if you don't use impact rated adapters. I just like, and I was talking to my dad. He didn't believe me, and he's like, "Yeah, you're full of you know what." And so I put this one on, and I put an impact socket in, and his impact driver, which is just Gen 2, which is a little bit weaker than the Gen 3. Um, don't lose impact strike. That would be bad. They it wouldn't take the socket off. He had a gray one, which is not impact rated, and a chrome socket. As soon as I switched over to this, and I switched over to a deep impact socket, it took it off. It took 2 or 3 seconds, but I was able to take it off. And I was able to take off the whole tire, the whole wheel with that. So keep that in mind, that you want to preserve them. And apparently, if you use thin-walled sockets, they might shatter earlier. They might have shorter lifespan, but they will save your battery life. It doesn't matter anymore. But they, like I said, they transfer the impact a lot better than the regular deep impacts. So if you're having trouble taking the nut off, just mess around with the accessories and you'll see. And so I know some people came in and out. I appreciate you guys coming in. Feel free to hit the like and subscribe. Say hi in the comment section or in the chat. And if you haven't seen the beginning of the video, go ahead, because I decided to make the video in the beginning straight to the point as possible, so that if you come in, you know you're not at the chat end. You get the meat and potatoes in the beginning. And then this one, Red Man. This one's for you. This is the bee's knees. I really like this stuff, especially when I have to get really creative. And I think you guys see my Instagram post where I even put it on the Discord, where I put like a bajillion attachments on it, and I use it. The problem with this one is like you end up losing a lot of torque. So you want to make sure that you have a really strong impact gun for this. So the shorter the better. I was trying to take off some stainless steel screws in the deck of a boat in a really awkward corner, and you have to twist this a little bit to get access to it. Because if it was a little bit shorter, I could put my driver here, but there was something on this wall, so I had to turn it and then use the impact driver. So what ended up happening is, as you turn this, it actually tightens, and it makes it a little bit harder to turn. So as I'm pressing down to take the nut off, the screw out, I couldn't. So I ended up switching to this one. But most of the time, I will end up having to use this because of long reach. So I'll be behind a deck, a bulkhead, and I'll try to put a
hose clamp, and it would be behind a bulkhead, you know, and you'll have to like use a very shallow nut driver or whatever, and to take the hose clamps out, because people don't think when they're building boats where the hose clamps are going to be. Hey guys, so appreciate you guys being here. Stainless can strip easy all the time, not just sometimes, all the time, Wiro. It is a pain in my butt. You really make sure that you have a bit that fits very nicely into the screw head. So that's why I like the Milwaukee ones. Everybody else, you know, they have their preference. The only reason why it's a little bit different, well, yeah, we pre-drill, but when we're dismantling a boat and it's a very hard, awkward position where you don't want to cut the fiberglass, you want to make sure that you take the screws out. That's the problem. The problem that I've had is that when a head, right? Because the thing about these Milwaukee ones is that they might have a little bit of a on the screw, just a slight. And I'll show you what I'm talking about right now. They'll have a little bit of a, just, let's see if I can make this focus. Just a little bit. Now people are like, oh, that's an issue, right? Okay, for regular wood screws, maybe, right? For regular, you know, maybe you'll get slippy bits off of this. But I like this, okay? I like this for a reason. If this stainless steel, it's really weird, but I'll break bits. And I haven't broken, I've only broken 1 or 2 Milwaukee bits in the last year. So, but, you know, if they fit too nicely and too tight and you break them, they're stuck in stainless steel screws. So what ends up happening is that you might not, oh my gosh, camera, focus. You might not be able to get that little piece out of the head. Oh my gosh, focus. You might not be able to get that little piece out of the head. So then now that screw is stuck in there. Now you can try to pry it out. But with stainless steel being so brittle and so weird, it'll like mash in, and it'll like, it feels like it's soldered together. Like it's just the weirdest thing. So I hate when you can't get that little piece out of the head. So yeah, so having like what I think about these are that they're narrower in the tip, and they give you just enough gap. So if they do break in there, you can pop them out a lot easier. That's why I like these. Okay? So, you know, that's why I like these. Okay? If they break, you can get them out. The DeWalt ones fit so well, which is very nice and everything, but for me, they don't work. They don't make me happy. And then they fit so well that if you camber them a little bit, you strip. So it's like the same thing all over again. I watch my boss go like this, and you know, with the drill, and all you hear is you know, and I'm like, oh, come on, let me use the drill. And you know, I like these bits because they have a little bit of play, and so that's why I like them. And I know Vince hates it when no one uses the magnetic strip. Stainless steel isn't magnetic, so I do apologize that it might hurt your feet, you know, your eyes, that I use it like this, or that I use absorbently long drill bits more than I use these shorter ones. It's just that they're not magnetic, so they just get in the way. Yeah. So anybody have any questions? See here. I have a at work we have a pick set, but like I said, when they get stuck in there and they're such for some reason steel screws are just so hard to pick them out. Like if they were drywall screws, you can pick them out pretty easily. Like I've broken them in there, and you can just pick them with your finger, and usually they come out. And like I said, I've used the DeWalt. I don't use heat because the locations that usually this stuff happens is in areas where I don't want to damage the finish on a boat. So you're in there and you've got your screw, and it's a very expensive boat. Like for example, we're using the Formula cigarette boat, and for example, on that boat, that's a boat that the Beatles were on. We want to make sure that we don't have to do any repairs on it. We're just doing like general maintenance and things like that, cleaning it up and all that kind of stuff. So we don't want to do that. Also, if you're working on something that you don't want to, inside hidden consoles in areas, yeah. If that's the case, then what I've had luck with is using a carbide tooth oscillating tool blade, and I will cut the screw off, because if we're removing the console, we're doing a lot of repairs. So for me, like so far, I haven't needed to use heat. So far, I can just cut them off. I cut the head off, and then once we get the piece out, the stem that's still out there, that's poking out, either I'll grind down, a cut off, or I'll use a vice grip and remove it. So, like I said, heat usually doesn't. Like I haven't used heat in the last 2 or 3 years. Yeah, they have those bathrooms, but I gotta tell you, man, I'll tell my boss, if they have a bathroom, I'm not working in them. I don't like working in boat bathrooms. They get so gross and disgusting. I mean, most of the boats that I work in are so gross and disgusting. I don't want to be in a very tight, confined area with gross, disgusting. So, I was waiting for it. Yeah, I've been in there, and the first thing I did, I didn't give a crap. I took a sawzall and I cut the whole console out. And they looked at me like, "What are you doing?" It's like, "I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this right now. We're just gonna cut this thing out." I'm like, "Okay." So I cut it out. So I told someone else, you can deal with it. I did my job, which is to cut the things out. Sometimes people just call me to do a demo work, and they'll do the rest. So I really like that, because I can just make a little bit of cash just because I have the tools. Because a lot of these people, they don't have the tools. They're just picking and prodding, and they're doing this stuff. And they work with fiberglass, but all they do is the fiberglass work. They don't demo. They try to demo, but they don't have anything to demo stuff with. So they end up just saying, "Hey, would you mind doing this? I'll give you some money for it." All right, depending on how hard the job is. I even had a job that they wanted me to remove the gas tank out, and so I took my circular saw and cut a a rectangle bigger than the size of the gas tank, and the gas tank was huge. I think it was like 45 inches by 40 something. Richard Gardner, appreciate you coming in here. So, I don't know if, Richard, I know at the beginning of the video, there's some people that just came in. You don't know how to cut the water to their house? There's a main in the front usually. Find it on the floor. Just take a sawzall to it. No, don't do that. So, Richard, if you just came in and everybody else just came in, I just saw that the numbers went up. I'm just going to do a quick recap so you don't have to go back to the whole video, right? jack stand. Kind of a pain in the ass with the lever, right? You have to turn it. It goes down like this. Then you have to turn it this way all the way around, which your hand is probably close to the ground already. And then you have to turn it over. And then your hand's going to be rubbing on the floor. And then you come over just to move it this much, right? Just a little bit. So what I did is I cut this off, right? Found what socket by using my little great measuring tape. That one doesn't fit, but the one that was there fit. And I stick it in there. Up you go. Down you go. Don't use the high torque. Don't bust your jack stand. You know, I mean, you can just feather the trigger. But at the bottom, if you look at it, and I'm glad that that I like to do these recaps, because sometimes I watch people do the videos and people are trickling in and they're kind of lost. They wanted to see the meat and the potatoes, and then they're on into the talk. So I like to do these little recaps. So whoever's been here, just keep talking in the chat. Let me just do a couple recaps here and there so people can see it. My mini 2-ton pump jack. All right, so yeah, you know, just put the socket in there, fit, but the problem was I had to cut the handle off. And so what I've been telling the guys who've been in here is that I want to make a little kit, figure out a way to make things, you know, less tools, a lot easier, so that when you get a flat, you thrive, you don't survive, right? So you go ahead and impact, bring that up, impact, take off the wheel, and then you can use a drill and adjust a hole. I used a drill bit once to enlarge the hole, and those titanium bits are sharp, but they're brittle, so they don't work as well. After it broke in there, and so I had to pull that one out too. A mini 2-ton pump jack. You're gonna have to link me on that one later, Liam. Is it because I've got the floor jack, the 2.5 ton or whatever floor jack. I don't want to be held responsible if something goes wrong. Yeah, that's a good one. So yeah, I was trying to use the bottle jack, but my car's, you know, it's a small car, you know, so it's closer to the ground. And so the scissor jack is going to be the best, or a floor jack. But floor jack takes a lot of trunk space. Richard Gardner says, I was going to get the stud measuring tape for Christmas, but she don't need it because Eddie is the only stud she needs. If you ever miss your water bill, Depot has you covered. Oh, okay. Eddie is a great stud. Did you guys get the promotion from your Milwaukee rep? If you buy some recip blades, they'll give you a shirt and an additional recip blade. Cause I bought some and I got the stud shirt. So now walking, you know, it's just weird walking around with that shirt. But for Eddie, he can wear that all day. He'd be walking around, just says stud in the back. So I usually don't buy Milwaukee blades. My go-to is usually Diablo, because of sometimes I have the sales. I mean, I go between the two, but always stick with the carbide stuff. I don't even bother with the bimetal anymore. And I use the pruning blades a lot. So, oh no, where'd it go? Oh, it's right there. Yeah. Now I can stick the jack back in my car because I was tired of carrying it and hardly being able to use it. So, guys, is there any another topic that you guys want me to cover probably in the next live stream? Because I know I got a lot of weird stuff. I'm not really a, I'm not a, I don't, I do some home remodeling stuff, but that's not my main thing. My main thing is boats. So, all right, I'll see you. See a real estate whisper, and also with you. May the force be with you. So appreciate you guys for coming in. I said I got these Sonex extensions. Am I missing out on any deals that I need to pay attention to? Am I missing anything? No, I'm not. Oh, no. Did Renman leave? Trivia night. Seen that table saw and scroll saw. Yo, okay, so I need, if anybody knows how to use a scroll saw, please help me out here. Okay? I think there's something wrong with the scroll saw. So trivia night on Thursday, you can win a few cup. Free. I should get the ratchet. Should get the ratchet. I gotta wait till payday. Okay. If anybody's used the scroll saw before, it goes up and down, right? Problem I have, it is banging a lot right here. And no matter the adjustment from the back, which is the tightening, or, no, that's about it. That's all I can really adjust from what I can tell. It bangs right here. And if I turn this on, you guys' ears will go nuts. So, like literally, let me turn this on. So first of all, I got this for free. So it was broken, I think, from what I can tell. It's fine now, but the switch for the speed's kind of screwed up. So if I needed to go faster, it bangs really hard. And it makes everything vibrate. And it's screwed down, but it makes everything vibrate. And it's pretty bad. And it's just unpleasant to use. And it's a rigid one, so I'm hoping that I can probably get some information on how to fix it. And I need to get new blades and just restore it in general. So I don't know if anybody's seen it. Use one of these or encountered an issue, but it's hitting right here, and this is metal, so it's not like it's plastic and it's moving. It's rather stationary. It just bangs the crap out of it. Sorry for your ears. If that hurt your ears, I do apologize. You're talking about opening this arm? I have not checked that yet. I was, but I haven't. I've just been super busy, so when I come in here, it's all like all I'm doing is cleaning, and haven't really got to play around with it. Because I wanted to make some Christmas ornaments, just some wooden Christmas ornaments or whatever, and I've had no luck. So
that's like a hidden screw.
Let's see the messages real quick. Liam, that's funny. It just, to me, it seems like the fit's not right. You know? Thank you, Richard. I love the Zelda shirt as well. You just sold the badass one, Moro. I wish I could have kept it. Yeah. Hopefully this one works. A little bit better once I figure out what's wrong with it. Maybe that'll help, Liam. But the problem that I see is like it's not like lightly tapping it; it's really hard. So it's like this needs to be higher, or something needs to be adjusted so that it doesn't go as high, because it's really banging in there. If I put a piece of rubber in there, it's just gonna cut the stroke. I would imagine cut the length of the stroke down. And I don't know, so I just don't think, I'm not sure if that's going to work. I can give it a try, but I just want to see first where I'm at without breaking it. Because I'm not AVE. Even though I've taken a lot of things, but I've never put them right back. It seems to be like a pin. I thought I tightened it down. You fool. There's another pin down here, I think. I think this is a pin. Whoa, fam. Get out the way. Get out the way, fam. It might be the opposite way. Yeah, it looks like it might be the opposite way. Jeez. That pin still needs to come out. This is probably what's holding it in. There's a screw right here, but it's really in a really hard spot to reach. And then there's these two pins. So they're kind of in the way. They're nice and rusted, so maybe if I just take the cover off and never put it back on, you know, might never need the cover, you know. Shut up. Let me see the messages, see if I'm missing anything. It was a big professional one, $1,200 new. Bought it for 50, got 100. Oh my gosh, well, really? Your first scroll saw will be Rye, and I am a Ryobi freak. Where is Edge when you need him? Tell him to fix the scroll saw. Edge? Not the arm, but the up-down arm thing. You're talking about this right here, Liam? That goes right under the arm? Because so yeah, this thing moves up and down. So it bangs against this thing. The way to get access to it would be to take this off. Richard Garner, appreciate you subscribing. Yeah. I guess I could try that, but I'm already halfway open. I'm already halfway open. So, might as well find out what it looks like. If I break it, it's not too bad. It is not a problem because it was free. Oh, that's interesting. That's how you do it. Tap it, tap, taps. I wish AVE was here. He could probably school me on this stuff. But then again, he doesn't do this stuff live, from what I can tell. He always does it all edited and stuff, so all of the errors and can be edited away. He can look like the cool guy. Alright, what do I see here? What do I see? Should probably pulled up the manual or something. I'm gonna put this side. I think it's metal, not So this thing creates the tension on the arm. So when you want to take the scroll saw blade out, it's nice and loose, so then you just undo this and then you can take it out. So then I put it back on, I tighten it, and I don't like tightening way too crazy but if they come up and it's closed, it doesn't look like it's gonna hit. Those are all old blades, are all rusted too. So, but that's what's going on. I'm just hoping that maybe someone didn't. You know. So what do you guys think? I don't know if anybody's seen that. I gotta get, if I could just take this off here for a second. There you go.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but right here there's a screw, but there's not enough space to put a Phillips head in there. So I see something. I see London. I see France. I see. Nice. Where'd my sockets go? Oh man, this is such a mess. I hate working in a messy bench. Get your butt in there. Can't wait to get another pack out box. It hasn't come in yet, so I don't have to use the small ones. But let's see. Is this one right? No, hell no, that's not right. It's more like it. Perfect. Screw sockets, wrenches. This is where I need to get the thin-walled stuff. Right in the corner. I don't know if you can see that. Thin wall would actually be great. I don't know if you can see that. Right there, where that is really close to that. But we'll see if I can manage. Oh, I think I can manage. Screw you. Technically unscrew you. Okay, so 4 there, these there. Okay, now I can get the drill. Put the thingy. I don't know. Taking it apart is actually gonna tell me anything. But it'll be interesting since I'm not really able to use it. Apparently you have to turn it this way. Can you guys see anything? And are you guys still watching? Because that'll be sad. Yeah, I didn't know either until I found it in a house. Oh, okay, I see. I think I see. Should probably. Yeah, I think that's what probably should be. So what's going on right now? I think this on this side, there's like a little knob, little black knob, and this is going straight through this way, and so it needs to be removed because it's grinding against the wall. So let's see here. Let me see if I can show you. Okay, let's see. Oh, focus. All right, so it's right here. I'm trying to make it see, but it's dark. Oh, there, a little more light there.
there's like a little knob here and it's tapping there. So as I'm trying to pull this out, it's kind of being a little pain in the butt. So I'll put you guys back where you guys not see shaky hands. Oh, by the way, the lights that I have here were those $10 lights. They plug right in. That was stuff that were on Black Friday. I'm gonna say that it's not a bad brand. Consumer like commercial electric. Kind of becoming a little bit of a fan. Oh, that's interesting. It's very interesting. Oh my gosh, hot potatoes. Okay. Let's turn you back around this way because last time we discovered something when I did this. Okay. It was unexpected. Okay, what am I looking at here? Let's bring this around. So that was the pin that I was trying to knock out a little bit. So that goes there. Pin goes there. So this thing is this plastic or metal? I can't tell. My fingers are frozen. So it's got this little cushion thing. It doesn't look like I got much use out of it. So there she goes. So I swear, if she was made to be this loud, I'm gonna have to wear headphones around this thing. Okay. So pin and a pin. I like taking things apart. Oops, but I don't think I'm gonna find anything that I can say was an actual problem unless it's down here or something. But all right. So let's see what's. It'd be nice to take this out. But from what I can see, nothing here. It seems like they were worried about this hitting the down position, but they weren't worried about hitting the up position. So they put the little cushiony thingy there to kind of keep it. But what I could, aha! Now,
See, if I tighten this, it brings it closer up, and then that one down, so it kind of goes like this, and that's what creates the tension in the blade. What if the blade's the wrong size? And it was too long or something, and so I tighten it down, and because it's too long, I would have to tighten it more, which makes it closer to the metal piece here. So that's a possibility, but I don't know too much about scroll saw blades. Does anybody know about scroll saw blades? Because so this one. Oh, where did I put the knob? There it is. If I'm covering the camera, I apologize. Just give me a second. No. Alright, the problem I have, there's the mechanism on the bottom now. Needs to be pushed. Up and forward. So if you look at this, let's bring it in there. This is where you put the blade in, and that goes up and down. So there's a mechanism down in here. It's kind of like a Z. So it's got a joint. It's got a joint here. It goes straight down, joint up, and I think it kind of turned it that way. So I gotta figure that out. But if you look, this is where you put the blade in, and then what's going on is that it's hitting, as it's going up, it's hitting here, and it's just vibrating the crap out of it. So if I go down and I look here, they've designed this little shock made out of plastic that holds on to the base of this thing, and that's fine and all for when it's going down, it cushions down, but when it goes up, it hits this portion here. So that's my problem. So this is the blade tensioner. So as you turn right, it'll bring this down and it'll bring this up, right? So get these two pieces closer together. In turn, we'll make this one go up, and the bottom one, which is down here, go down, which tensions the blade. So it's a very simple thing, right? Other than whatever's going in here, because I can't really see well. So I don't know how to limit it from vibrating or hitting this portion up here. So that's my problem. And so either I'm tensioning the blade too much, which it could be, but then it's not cutting as well. It's still kind of vibrating. So that's one thing. Number two, this thing is going way too fast, right? Or number three, maybe the blade length isn't the correct blade length. Why do I think that? Because if I set it here, if it was a little bit shorter,
then I will have to tension it less. If I will have to tension it less, then this would travel. This wouldn't be as close to this lip or this portion right here. So that's my little question for anybody who's used a scroll saw or ever seen this issue. Please let me know, because I would really, really like to know if I can fix this thing. So Richard, I am really just Liam. I really don't see anything that's abnormal. I mean, it's got the pin slots, so it should fit perfectly here. I swear, if it's just the blade length that's incorrect, the only thing that I know is wrong with this thing, other than that I know is really wrong, is this knob. It's fidangly, and so if you pull on it to turn it on, right? I'm not gonna do this, still plugged in. Pull on it to turn it on. This variable speed's kind of iffy, so I'm gonna have to open that up and see if there's if it's just something that I just need to clean up. Maybe we have contacts or something. I don't know. I have to take a look at that. But in here, I don't see anything that's abnormal. So I'm just going to try to put this back, because the question is, the real question is try, because I don't think I will be able to, at least in this session. So I'm gonna make sure that the first one's in. So these two go right here. Wanna see something probably destructive and crazy? All right, it wasn't that crazy. Probably helped me out to get the arm that's down there in place. Yeah, that's gonna help me. Okay, so I'm just gonna tap. And then I'm gonna put, never work with things plugged in, but I don't care. I know what I'm doing. Said no one ever. Let's see here. This thing. I really gotta clean up this bench. I've been trying to clean, but it just haven't been successful. Perfect. Might I be cross-threading it? Nope. Maybe.
Oh no, plastic thing. Come here, plastic thing. Get back in there, plastic thing. Oh, plastic thing. Oh, plastic thing. Why do you look so difficult? Oh no. Since I don't know how it came apart in the first place, I guess I should loosen up the other stuff. Alright, I'm gonna loosen the other ones. Give me the slack I need. Or so I think. Get back in there. No one told you to get out. There's gotta be an easier way. Oh. The pen. The pen. I'm really glad that this is all metal. Yeah, it's running bad on high. It's running bad on high, and two things. The knob is bad, so when it goes on high, then it goes on low, then it goes on high. So it's not very consistent, so I've got to fix that. And then this is hitting the top portion of here, as you can see. But that's just, actually, yeah, it's doing it again. So it needs to be down. But I gotta put this pin back down here so I can put the frame back on it, which I put the frame where? Here. Okay. So I wonder. Oh, blue pen are bothering me too. Screw you. I don't got time for this. Tap, tap, taps. I learned that on YouTube. Not really. Put that pen in. Put at least a screw in. Ooh, I forgot to put that screw in.
Too bad. Guess I'm gonna have to loosen it up a little bit more. See if that loosened it up enough so I can put the screw at the bottom. If you guys not know what I'm doing is there's a screw right here, and if that was tight, it would be close together, and I can't get a screw in there. So. I don't know if this is gonna make it. To be a little bit. Like I said, I think I need thin-walled sockets so I can get to this. There you go. This. Oh, I can put. What's the first? Oh, I also, if you guys are still on, it's one thing I don't like about these. My one doesn't work. One weekend, and a screwdriver hit it in my box, or something, and now the LED's off on the number one. So, one thing I don't like about that, I'd rather have hard switches. And that works great for you know, screwing these in when you don't want to over torque them. I knew there was one more. You're always left with one. The question is where? You guys remember where this one went? Oh no. I don't remember. There's always a mystery screw. Oh, I found it. Now where's the screw? There it is. I mean, is it me or is this scroll saw like super heavy? Alright, I'll skip on those two. It don't look that. You keep doing that, man. I swear. That necessary. Okay, these are my last two blades. More like this is my last blade. This one's trash. So hands work. Okay, so this is the tensioner. I gotta play with the knob because it doesn't keep doing that. Just, I'm rapidly putting it in. So much flex. It is, I'm checking the messages again. All right. vibrating still. I think that was a catastrophic failure. Hey, Brandon, on that aspect of it, since I used to work retail, that actually happens with a lot of stores. When you have a return, they put them at full price. Um, that's usually done by corporate. So when you put a store out and you make a return, the price is controlled by corporate. So they'll send the ad set or whatever in there, and the price would be higher on a used item. And when I used to work at Sears, it was the same thing. It's like come up, scan it, set it up. It was like, hey, it's still good. They will base it off the regular retail, and then as the system goes through, it'll slowly lower, and you'll see those scales like that Jonathan M used to talk about all the time. Those whatever the 88 or whatever. Well, the same thing when it comes to clearance stuff. They'll bring him down to a certain price, and then they'll have like a last call where then they'll just get rid of the stuff. So when I used to work at Sears, they would do the same thing. So sometimes they'll try to sell like a DVD player or something, and they'll look at the clearance. So it's like, well, this one's more expensive. What the heck? I'll check clearance. Why is it more expensive? Because you bring it down to match the sale price, and then a little bit extra. We just didn't have control over it. So maybe Home Depot will have some control over it, but usually they don't. That's usually done by the computer. So, but so far this scroll saw still busting my butt. This blade, like I said, it's old, and that seemed to be a catastrophic failure. You guys saw me break it apart. You guys probably were watching something else or reading. Doesn't matter. But EGM, thank you for coming in. I saw your little chat thing a couple seconds ago. Appreciate it. For those who've just been here, they've been here the whole time. I appreciate you guys coming in. Don't buy wood deck from a mobile home parts place because they don't use deck screws. And I had to replace all the screws in my mom's deck with deck screws. Thank you, Maximo. Hey, you know what? That rigid, I really don't know. So, how about, let me see if I can get the model number. I really don't know, and I'm gonna take it off. I'm probably gonna take it off the workbench because I haven't had any luck with it. Probably why it was in the shed that I found it in the first place. It just wasn't that good. So this thing's been great, except for that thing falls off all the time. But you have a little thumb placement here for these corners. This is literally like one of the best purchases.
Sorry, buddy, but you're gonna get unplugged for a while until I figure out how to fix you. It's got the tag still. Peeling off little by little. But let's see here on the tag. What do you guys think is the model number? It's a scroll saw, EJM. You make very detailed cuts. I would really like to get one working because I want to make Christmas ornaments. So, oh, give me a second. Let me get my charger. Start charging my phone. I'm gonna have to move the camera over. This might be a suitable place. I need to clean up that junk. Trying to figure out the model number here, but I don't see anything. It says here 828441 down at the bottom. So right here, 828441. See if you guys can find out the model number on this one, or if this is the correct model, or I mean, if this is the model number for a rigid scroll saw. Because on this side, you really can't tell. I'm just putting my phone on the charger because it is literally almost dead. Thank you everybody for coming in. If you're just coming in to the video and you guys, you know, you're in the talky portion right now and other random stuff, don't skip back. Let me give you a quick recap so that I can say I just saw an influx of people come in. I just want to give you guys a quick recap. You got a jack stand, right? Car jack, I'm sorry. And you have one of these, but in order to work on them, this is physically attached to it. So then you go this way, and then you go up, all the way around to the right, and then, okay, I got to tighten it more. So you kind of have to go like this, and twist it this way, and go this way, and then when you're at the bottom, your hands, you know, there. Anyways, this thing's a pain in the butt. Because you try to turn it over and right, you got to have it somewhat up. Then you got to bring it down here. And then you got to twist it up over and over. It's a pain in the butt. So I cut it off. Alright, so I cut it off. And what I ended up doing is, with mine, this one came with my car. It actually has a 6-point head in there. So what I did is I found the socket that corresponds to it, which was a 19mm socket. Or for you standard guys, that would be a 3/4. Now I stick it in there. Now I can jack up my car and unjack my car.
Oh, EGM. So this is my other scale, right? The bigger, the better. Right? So now you have a car jack that you don't have to twist with the rod. Like I said, the way that worked, let me see if I can actually see myself when I'm doing this. As you go over, this is this way, you turn down and then it hits down, right? So you have to come up, over this way, all the way around, over this way, right? And it'll be down like this, and you're like, oh, so I gotta twist it up, or it's a pain in the butt. Especially when it's all the way down and it's like this. So you gotta bring it up, gotta bring it this way, gotta go this way, and, and this way. So it's just easier if you did this. So this one came with my Ford Focus, and then if you buy the blackjack one, it won't have the 6-point, but it will have like another thing. You could probably fit another socket in there. It'll fit vertically. I've seen people do it. So I think you guys should give that a try. Give that a try, because I'm tired of dealing with car jacks. They're a pain in my ass. I have a bigger car jack, but it just, with the tools I'm carrying and everything, it's just kind of a pain to have a big car jack in my small car. And so organization is key, and figuring out ways to make your life easier. Why is it so tight? Oh, that's why. Let's turn it this way. What did I do? This was here last time. I don't know why I did it. I don't really use 1/2 inch, but I like to have the 1/2 inch in there in case I have to use it. We're gonna get to see Mrs. Demon on camera again. She's camera shy like me, bro. We weren't meant to be seen. Why no lights? Oops. Apologize, I'm just gonna pick up a little bit here, guys. to get the bigger box because that'll fit this stuff in a little bit better. Online, it's funny. You can't find any info on that GM guy? What about just in general? Yeah, it's just my phone. It's nothing special. Oh my gosh. Get in there. It's having some troubles. It's having some troubles. All right. Try to turn the camera back here. See if that'll work. Yep. Thank you. I got it for under $200. This thing's heavy. I think it's time to plug it into this so I can actually move around a little bit. The other boxes are in my thing. I've got the rigid boxes too, but I bought them separately as well. I still need the cart, which would probably work better because it would actually fit in my trunk. The Milwaukee is a little bulky, EJM, but I can fit a lot of things in there. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because that's my trunk. And with my trunk up, you'll see, I wonder if I can zoom in. Alright, so I got the mid box, the middle toolbox in there. That's the 3000 lumen one. So this is the Rover. Oh, Maximo, I know it's in a really, really ugly state. There's no point, because
I gotta figure out a way to keep these sockets out of the way. I'm leaving this one out. Yeah, that's true. You know what I didn't like too much about this the pack out is the new circular saw is kind of a pain to put in. So if you wanted to put it in this way, right? It really doesn't work. So you kind of have to put it in this way. This is the one key, if you will. And then I'm going to see if I can cut these in half. But that's well, most of my stuff stays in the trunk, so no one sees it. But that's pretty much what I carry for work, my hand tools and whatnot. Everything else is just in case. Not really just in case, but I've got the nail guns in there, the Hitachi ones. The other skill saw, circular saw is out, but I gotta fill the bottom one up. And then I've got those organizers for when I'm actually doing, when I'm working with Dad or something, remodeling the houses. And then I'm setting up my detailing bags so I can start cleaning up the car and actually have to clay the car. And then do a couple more details. I gotta buy the compounds and stuff. Yeah, that's why I'm not in a hurry, Wuro, because I saw about the ratchet. And so I'm gonna get that. I'm still, like I said, I'm still missing the other box. So what I'm gonna do is when that box comes in, I'm gonna replace these because I have my hand tools here. And oh, there's one thing I don't. Yeah, the cutoff tool. I'm really close to buying that cutoff tool. I don't know if I'm really gonna need it because I usually use the 5-inch grinder, but I like the fact that I can just have a dedicated tool just to cut. Unless anybody wants to donate one to me, I'm willing. I'm just kidding. Just been able to so close. These are just a little bit bigger. I'm gonna break this box. I just had this in there. Don't already use that. I use this. I don't use that. I don't use that. I don't know why that's in here. Yeah, I use this. Actually, if I can fit this, I will take it. The only problem is right in the corner. If you want to open it when it's right next to each other, this latch kind of hits this one. Yeah, I gotta try that. I gotta try the cutoff tool, you know. And if I don't like it, I can just return it. And but I like the fact that I can just stack those up, take them. And then I can put her back in the trunk, which is kind of the point of why I got it. I think my wish list right now is the stubby. Because my plan would be to give the one that I have now to my dad so that he can use to, you know, for tire rotations and stuff like that when I'm not around. Then the stubby will be for me. And then I'll probably buy one more stubby as a gift to someone. The cutoff tool, I don't know. I mean, that just seems like a luxury right now. I've got everything pretty much that I need. I just have to clean up the mess that I have over here. So I have to fix the router because the legs on the router table is broken. So I'm probably gonna build one out of wood, just the legs, just to kind of get out of the way. And then, ooh, got my bench grinder back. Bench grinder. So then I want to restore this. I found this, and so if anybody really knows how to restore this stuff, I'm just gonna see if I can get all the rust off, take it apart, clean it up. But I'm not really sure. I haven't really used a hand plane, so I want to get into that stuff. How to actually sharpen this and keep it straight, because I don't know if you can tell. It's got a focus. It's very chipped, and it's like at an angle this way. So I want to work on that. Maybe I can make a video on that one because it's pretty bad. It's a made in USA Stanley Handyman, but I don't know what number this one is. If anybody can guess, let me know. That feels like that's wood, but it doesn't tell me. It doesn't tell me the number. We've got a couple of these. This one actually still has a sharp edge, and the bottom is still kind of flat, just a little rusted. So this is a number 110. And then this one doesn't say. And then I have a Craftsman one that's like this that I had in the box. So yeah. Made in England. It's an England Craftsman. So EGM, this demon, this is your you're a Craftsman guy. I love Craftsman stuff. Apple vinegar. All right, I'm gonna get some of that stuff. Maybe I'll let it sit and I'll just scrub it, and then the model number on which tool? The Craftsman one? If I want to make a blade, use an edger blade. Number 7. Richard Gardner, have you used the M18 version of the fuel hacksaw? Because we use the M18 hacksaw to prune trees and the fuel sawzall. My dad likes the sawzall for bigger limbs, and he cuts trees like every day, maintaining some of the not the rental properties, the houses that he remodels, and so it's just much quicker than having to do it by hand, and you don't have to deal with the gas of the chainsaw for the small limbs. I prefer Sears Craftsman. Same. I like their stuff. I just right now, ever since they've been bought out, their tools are made. Their tools are not the same. They have some that are the same design, but they're not the same. And they started changing a while back. And I was working at Sears, and I used to work in their tool department, and they still had made in the USA tools being produced, but Sears never produced anything. So the factories, Sears never had any factories because Black and Decker made their tools. So Stanley Black and Decker made their tools. So some of the stuff is still made in the USA. Some of their tools was made by the Apex company, or is it Apex? Yeah, that makes Crescent. So some of the tools are literally Crescent rebrands. I actually have one of their Craftsman. Some of their hammers were Crescent hammers, and it's like the flex head. And I love that hammer. I don't care what anybody says. That hammer is like one of my favorite because you take another hammer and you tilt it and you can just demo the crap out of stuff. And I use it to demo boats all the time. It's like one of my go-to things. But the tools now, like when I was working at Sears, that they had their China, their China screwdrivers, or were still okay, or Taiwan or whatever, and then their sockets. I saw a big problem with their sockets, their China sockets when they were still at Sears. We bought a mechanic's tool kit for my brother. My brother's a mechanic, and he was just telling me problems where they were just falling and they weren't fitting correctly. And I actually saw them and I tried them, and they didn't work out as good as the China ones that I bought. A different China model. And so he had the chrome China, and I had bought these and these have the knurling on here, and they have their universal fits, and I had compared these to the Cobalt, and these were thicker than the Cobalt, so these were a lot thicker material. But these were working a lot better for him than the one that came in the toolkit. And they were both made in China. And I've had these for a couple of years now, 3 to 4 years now. And I've used them a lot.
until I just recently got in the last year or so the impact sockets, and I've just literally stopped using these. But I love these universal ones because I don't have to have specific bits for anything, and they work great. They work so good that those get stuck in really soft uh, nuts. So then I have the max access one, which is the one that you can use it into threaded rod with a ratchet, and I love that one because we use threaded rod sometimes. Tiger ratchet. I have the M18 Gen 1 recip saw that came with a rapid charger and 9 amp hour batteries, and I've cut small trees down with it. Yeah, it's pretty much what my dad's been doing too. I don't know if you see my Instagram. It's at the Real Phantom Zero, same name. So we had initially when we first got here. I mean, this place was trash, like really, really trash. And we have these things called air potatoes. That if you look at my Instagram, you'll see the images in there, and they're literally potatoes. Like they'll grow this big and they'll be big and all bundled up together, and they'll throw vines up the tree, and they'll hug the tree and they'll start killing the tree. But these vines have thorns in them, and so they just grow everywhere, and they're just gross looking. They'll show you online that they're pretty and everything. Some of them are, but these were horrible. Yeah, tamarindo. Hey, damn. The damn tamarindo. So yeah, they're just crazy. I mean, we used the smaller hacksaw on those, and they worked great. And then Dad wanted to use it for work, so he told me, "Give me the big sawzall because I've got a couple acres of land down in Mayaca, and that he has to go to and clear up." And so he started doing that. I like tamarindo one. Demon, where did that come from? Like with you and the tamarindo stuff, you know? But like what's that all about? The tamarindo stuff. You know, I should probably put this jack back in the car. Probably should not put the impact away. So what's up? Yeah, those look like tamarindo. No, man, they look like tamarindo if they were like really small, but they're huge, man. They're like a group of small, tiny potatoes all mashed together with like some wiry stuff. But I can see the look. We're all grown ass kids. You know, we don't really grow up. I have a theory where nobody really turns into a man. They just grow up and they're still a child. All right, guys. I'm getting tired. My voice is going away. I really appreciate you guys hanging in here for like almost 3 hours. We've averaged about 5 to 6 people at a time. Really appreciate you guys coming in. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and like I said, we'll do this again maybe once a week. You know, once a week. Again, follow me on Instagram, same name on Instagram, the Real Phantom Zero. I really appreciate you guys for coming over. All right, I'm signing off. Good night, guys. Give you guys a couple moments to. Good night, Papa.